Oh my goodness. I thought this was going to happen. I wasn't sure, but I thought it would happen because this man is such an exceptional actor. But I mean, with the track record in Hollywood, I wasn't quite sure what would happen. But it seems, well, let me read the title. Breaking news. Marvel Studios bringing back Jonathan Majors Kang, which I think is amazing. I think it's an amazing idea, and I'll reflect on that probably at least after the video, maybe in between. I don't know. We'll see.
What's going on, guys? Welcome to Everything Always. My name's Michael Remen, aka All Fires. Now, as if there isn't enough going on right now with Marvel Studios, the Fantastic Four trailer officially coming tomorrow, and then basically dropping a brand new Captain America Brave New World trailer every...
Bro, we get those way too often. I swear. Like, I don't want to watch all these fucking trailers. I feel like that movie's gonna flop terribly. It's crazy. If they would have released that movie in 2020, I'm sure it would have done very well. But honestly, he just seems like a fucking... He's a Robin. He's never gonna be the Batman, in my eyes at least. He's not that entertaining.
Single day, we have a bombshell headline that literally broke within the last hour, indicating that Marvel Studios president Kevin Feige is considering bringing back Jonathan Majors' Kang the Conqueror to close his storyline. We're going to break down exactly where this article came from.
What are they going to do with Kang and with Doom? You know, they got Dr. Doom now. Like,
read through it in full and then try to add some context, if we even can, as to why Marvel Studios may have done a 180 here, from cutting all ties with the actor and restructuring their multiverse saga to considering bringing him back now to close the Kang storyline. We're breaking it all down, this bombshell that Jonathan Majors may be back as Kang the Conqueror in the future of the MCU. But quickly, first, if you could hit the subscribe button. Guys, we do daily Marvel content at the channel. That's all we do, and especially as we head into the next two Avengers.
Yeah, if you like a guy that's interested in video games, movies, TV shows, anything I find interesting, frankly, I'm your guy, bro. So hit that sub button for me. Let's get the ether to 1K. Hit that like button to help it push out to more people. Yada, yada, yada. Comment down below if you have any thoughts. If you disagree with me, if you agree with me, whatever it might be. If you want to let me know, hit a timestamp on there. Makes it easier for me to understand what the fuck you're talking about. But this is a short video, so
films, we cover it all here at the channel and as it's breaking. So if you're into that kind of thing, hit the sub button, leave a comment down below.
Yes, sir.
That automatically enters you for ongoing PS5 giveaway. Stick around at the end of the video. We get into all the giveaway stuff again there. Okay, so this story actually broke within the last hour at the Industry Insider editorial Screen Geek. Again, under the headline exclusive, Marvel's Kevin Feige considering bringing Jonathan Majors back to the MCU. Marvel Studios boss Kevin Feige is considering bringing Jonathan Majors back after the studio cut ties with the actor, where they go on to report, quote, at one point, Jonathan Majors was being set up to follow Josh Brolin's footsteps as the next overarching Marvel villain. His character, Kang the Conqueror, was established with several appearances. However, Marvel Studios cut ties with Jonathan Majors after he was convicted of assault, though studio head Kevin Feige now reportedly wants Jonathan Majors back in the MCU, and they continue by saying, quote, according to our sources, Marvel Studios head Kevin Feige is considering bringing Jonathan Majors back into the MCU. The idea is for Majors to appear in a future Marvel project to wrap up some loose ends with Kang and close the character's story. Now, first off and right off the bat, let me be...
I love they want to bring him back. I just want to shoot a couple things out there real quick before he goes into it. I wouldn't blame Jonathan Majors if he declined, because let's be frank, and it seemed like they did try to stand by him as much as possible until he was successfully found guilty. But man, like, everyone was saying, this is gonna go, there's another round to go, this is gonna be looked at again, this isn't like, final. And guess what happens? He's innocent. So I don't know. I really wish the studio would just, if they, it's tricky. I want to say I wish they would stand by him no matter what, and then Marvel would be looking amazing. But nevertheless, let's talk about the overall arching of the MCU now. I think it'd be a great way, because I think, Kane has been obviously the best in Loki. Like, that's where all my interest for Kane came from with the MCU. Ant-Man was pretty good, but the way they ended things, it was kind of like, okay, Ant-Man defeated him. How bad could this guy really be? But then you have infinite amount of them. Defeating Kane finally, and then having that introduce Doctor Doom somehow would be interesting, or Doctor Doom defeating him. Or, I don't know. I don't know what loose ends besides the Loki series, really, and Ant-Man. But Ant-Man seems like they have a convenient, wrapped-up storyline with Kane. So, I know I'm forgetting something with Kane. Just comment down below what I am. That way I can have more education on the reflection in the comment section.
Very clear how I feel about this, and don't really care if you disagree. Man. You can let me know in the comments. They should absolutely do this. Jonathan Majors 100% deserves it. Now look,
and we need better actors in the MCU 100%. And he's an amazing actor. He's entertaining. We need big bads. Big bads sell movies. You can't have a good movie with just a great hero. You need, like, for instance, Captain America right now. Like, you had the Red Skull. You had Bucky. That whole story arc was fucking awesome. Hydra. You had... Man. And also Captain America's movies kind of benefited from, like, being kind of Avenger movies. And it just, you know, with the new Captain America, you don't it doesn't feel like there's a lot of stakes, a lot of plot lines you need to know. It feels like almost like a high budget Hawkeye TV show in a way. I don't know. That's my thoughts on it.
I know what happened with him and what happened with James Gunn was a little bit different. James Gunn had some really ill-colored tweets that came out and he got fired, but then he got brought back. But it's not as though Marvel Studios, the whole Hollywood industry, isn't fluid and doesn't give people second chances. That's what Robert...
Well, Disney's not really the best about it, you know. the whole... what's her name for the Mandos? Gina Carano, yeah, that didn't end up well.
Downey Jr. being given a second chance to be Iron Man after his prison stint was all about. So yes, 100,000%, Jonathan Majors deserves it. They should absolutely bring him back. I am not surprised at all that this finally broke as a headline, because look, Marvel Studios wanted to make a pivot into Doctor Doom given that Variety article.
Oh yeah, they talked about it before even the Jonathan Majors situation happened. Way back.
Without Jonathan Majors' legal troubles. And as it stands, that may have just been the off-ramp they were looking for. But now that they've brought Robert Downey Jr. back, they absolutely risk nothing by doing this. I know there are those people out there, and I've even said something along the lines of, you bring Robert Downey Jr. in to make everybody forget about Jonathan Majors' Kang. You don't then go ahead and bring Kang the Conqueror back. But given this circumstance and the way the chips have fallen now, this is something I think they absolutely...
You know what the perfect comparison of that is? In Endgame, you had the Red Skull in there, and you had Thanos. And it wasn't about Red Skull, but he was in there. And the Red Skull being in Endgame made Endgame better, in my opinion. Or was it Infinity War? No, it was Endgame, yeah.
Absolutely should do. Now, obviously, Kang the Conqueror was set up to be a multiversal villain, and remember, Loki Season 2 was concluded before they knew what was happening with Jonathan Majors and his trial and all his legal troubles. They basically gave themselves the off-ramp that they might have been looking for, and then his legal troubles just basically sealed the deal. But he has obviously suffered consequences, paid the price. They should absolutely bring him back. In the Fantastic Four #2, down the road after the Multiverse Saga has concluded, maybe his Rama Tut or a different variant would absolutely 100% serve the character and serve him as a villain for the Fantastic Four. And
well, him being in Secret Wars would be amazing.
Film. That's where I think it should take place. There are those who say, hey, you know, Kang the Conqueror should show up and then Doctor Doom should squash him to basically illustrate that Doctor Doom is that much more powerful. But let's face it, he already got squashed by Ant-Man and the Wasp at the end of Quantumania. I don't really think that would do more to set up Doom, and I honestly feel like that would just be a dead end for his character, not really the sort of...
I do hate the talking point that, oh, he got squashed in Ant-Man, because he is the multiverse villain. And the best version of him was He Who Remains, which died, but he said he was going to be back. And that's the whole thing. Like, we're going to see variants, and they're going to die, and they're going to get defeated. But eventually, we're going to find one that is supposed to be He Who Remains. Like, that's supposed to happen.
validation that he's looking for in bringing him back. And probably Marvel Studios sees this from a bird's eye view, and I don't think that's the place for him. Again, they brought Dr. Doom in to be the villain on these next couple of films, and they have more than enough to try to explain and work into the film. There are characters that they are cutting down right now. They are not going to work Kang the Conqueror back into this after going through great lengths to get rid of him as the villain for the rest of the Multiverse Saga and, of course, Avengers Secret Wars. Now, look, at the end of the day, Marvel Studios doesn't have to do this. In fact, you could argue there's more to be lost than gained here, but for the sake of Jonathan Majors, they
what would they lose? What would they lose? What, a couple people protesting because they don't like the guy? Like, what? Where are we focused on making good movies with good storylines, with good villains? Are we too deep in the political identity politics? Like what are we talking about?
Should absolutely do it. This isn't just about, well, you bring back Kang after you got rid of him, and Doom was really the big villain, so why would anybody care now if it's after the Multiverse Saga? It's not about any of that. It's about Jonathan Majors being brought back to finish his character, and undeniably, he was settling into that role really, really well. Look,
he was, and also, like, come on, bro, we had big villains, like huge movies with huge villains while Thanos was being teased out in the entire time. Like, what are we talking about here? That doesn't make any sense. Like, do these people like the people that make these fucking comments? Because there are people that fucking would say this. I'm sure this. I could easily see someone saying that. Like, but did you even watch the MCU movies? Like, come on. Like Ultron. Like, what do you bro? Like, oh my god. There's so many villains that lead it up and teased out Thanos. Like, shouldn't we have the same thing with, if you want the same effect as Endgame with Secret Wars? I'd assume you would, have that blueprint, adapt it to the shit you got, and then, do the same thing pretty much. Like,
not have done at the box office what Marvel was hoping for, and they may have had doubts about whether or not him as a villain could have carried the Multiverse Saga. But let's face it, there were problems with Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, and Jonathan Majors as Kang was not one of them. And his portrayal as multiple variants, especially as they got into Loki season 2.
But there was some lines in there that were just stupid. I don't know what it was. Like, what was in the water with the MCU with the last couple, like Love and Thunder? Like, how dumb, like, where's the comedy? Like, who's cooking up these lines? Like, there's like, oh, this is gonna kill in the theaters. Just dead quiet. Like the dick joke where he's like, it's never too late to not be a dick or whatever like that. And Ant-Man, like, this shit was just stupid. It wasn't even like quality dumb humor, which I can appreciate. Quality dumb humor. I am a dumb chimp living on Earth. I'm an Earth chimp, for crying out loud. I appreciate some authentic stupidity, But no, it just. The writing's been the biggest issue for me with the MCU, for sure.
Was absolutely amazing. I really feel like a lot of fans not only want to see him return, but think that he was excellent in that role and one of the shining stars out of Phase 4 and Phase 5. And honestly, it's only upside for Marvel. If they go and do this, I doubt they'll face any backlash at all, but they will ingratiate themselves to all of the fans like myself who think that Jonathan Majors should be given a second chance and brought back to actually finish what he started and with that character. And sort of on a side note, because I know you guys come here for my opinion and reporting about the MCU and not life in general, but man, like, do people need to be made to suffer and be punished for their mistakes forever? I hate, as a parent that, kids these days don't get an opportunity to make genuine mistakes because there's cameras everywhere and ridiculous consequences for things that when we were kids, we would get away with. And I'm not saying what Jonathan Majors did was a kid, but what I'm saying is that with cameras everywhere and with the court of public opinion being what it is now, that there's central discourse on the internet, on YouTube videos, on TikTok videos, I just feel like at some rate people should be allowed to make mistakes, pay whatever price or consequence they have to pay, and then you give them a second chance. There is nothing to be gained from grudging against people or being mad about something they did in perpetuity, and especially not in this case. But of course, you guys let me know, as always, what you feel and think down in.
I really don't care about that. When it comes to this situation, I really think at the end of the day, you need higher stakes. Like, one of the biggest problems with the MCU, I think, is the lack of people caring, and it's pretty fucking obvious at the end of the day, and probably millions of people have fucking realized this. But what Marvel did very well, they had the main hero movies, the big solo just experiences, right? And then they would sprinkle in these niche characters or groups of characters together in their own movies in between those. And it was a good way to have, oh, this is a gem, or oh, this is a dud, but it doesn't matter because I just watched a fucking banger. But post Endgame, post Spider-Man No Way Home, we've had the gems, usually you have a bunch of just fucking movies that are just really fucking good and just fun to watch. But it's not that. It's a bunch of side characters. There's a bunch of niche characters, and then you'll have an occasional actual big hero that people love. Like, and even in those movies, that just the writing has been goofy as fuck. It's just I don't know how to articulate it, but it feels so obvious. I don't know.
In the comments, you are definitely allowed to disagree with me at every turn.
Likewise.
Like I said, I don't censor my comments in this regard. I mean, I do censor them if you say ridiculous stuff, but I don't censor them in the sense if we don't agree on opinions. That's not me. That's not my type of YouTube channel, and I'm all ears. I do encourage the discourse, especially if we have different opinions.
Quickly, you're throwing that PS5 on the screen.
Still giving away PS5s. We're just going to continue to do that throughout the whole year, and there are lots of Marvel drops, so there are lots of PS5s. Super simple to be entered to win. Hit the subscribe button because you need to be a subscriber. Then leave a comment down below, and because it's truly random, the more videos you comment on, the better chance you have of winning. All winners will always be announced here at the end of videos, live with my voice in the winning comment shown on screen when there is one. The best way to keep up with the content.
All right, perfect. If you want to go get a PS5, go give him a sub. I'll sub to him, man. Oh, he's got 1.05 million subscribers. I've never heard of this guy. Everything Always. Interesting. I'll have to look at his other stuff. My man literally ran away from an unhinged violent woman and still got in trouble. Yup. Exactly. He ran from the problem and got railroaded in the criminal trial. Some folks deserve to be canceled. This ain't one of them. Some folks deserve to be canceled. I hate the term canceled because you can't cancel someone. You could put someone in jail or you could kill them. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? Cancel? Oh my god, I hate this generation. This ain't one of them. I think he deserves more than a closeout role. Give a couple more. Looks with the side content like what if zombies, etc. No, I think Disney Plus could use a decent villain. Or maybe it's too late for Captain America, but yeah. We gotta stop calling what he did a mistake. The only mistake was being with that lying psychopath. Never clicked on the video faster after reading the title. Yeah, I'm so excited for this. I don't know which news I love better. I mean, I've been waiting on Fantastic Four for such a long time. The Raw breakdown reaction is up. It should be the first one I upload after I'm doing this recording session. But dude, that shit looks, and there's some things I'm like, huh, but I can't wait. I haven't been excited for a Marvel movie like that since probably Doctor Strange. Yeah, man, I really hope they bring back Wanda one day and she's not like, completely psycho, because I love me some Scarlet Witch. But yeah, my name is Trey Swish. This is the Ether. Hit that sub button to join the Ether, become an Etherite. And yeah, I talk about video games, movies, TV shows, anything I really find interesting. There's a lot of dialogue, and I hope you like my commentary. If you do, hit that sub button. Comment down below anything you would want me to react to, if you think it would be interesting. But yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one, and stay safe out there.